Hello students and welcome back to bankexamstudy.com. So today we are going to discuss the BCG matrix. Really important students, before starting this topic, let me tell you what is SBU. See students, a strategic business unit. Let's take an example of iPhone, Apple. An SBU is a separate business unit with different missions, different goals. Let's take an example of Apple. They are having different lineups. They are producing smartphones like iPhones. They are producing the iPads, and they are into the business of Apple TV. So these are the various products. This is a portfolio of, and there is like Apple Watch. So this is a portfolio of Apple. Now how Apple is going to decide, Apple is having a lot of money, a lot of cash. How they are going to decide how much money they need to invest on each of these products. I mean, which product to discontinue. Obviously, if there is some product which is not performing well, they need to discontinue it. And if there is some product which is struggling, but there is a huge market potential, they need to invest money into that so that it can become a profit making business, a profit making product. Further, we can take the example of HUL. We can take the example of many other companies. So Apple is a classic example. So all of these are SBUs. So students, we have started the IBPS SO Marketing course. If you are preparing for the IBPS SO Marketing exam, we are providing the topic-wise video classes, notes, and the test series. Everything is available on store.bankexamstudy.com or Bank Exam Study mobile application. The link is available in the description. So the BCG Matrix, as I already told you, by taking the Apple example, the management's first step is to identify the key management making up the company, or the basic step is to identify the strategic business unit. A strategic business unit is a unit of the company. Let's say in Apple, the smartphones. That has a separate mission and objectives. That has a separate mission and objective, and which is planned independently from other company businesses. So what Apple TV is doing, it's different from the iPhones, right? There are different teams who are working on each of them. So the next step is to analyze all these products and the lineups, all these SBUs. So how that is done, this is not SBC, this is SBU. So how that is done, so this is the matrix. I'm doing the matrix. I'm providing the matrix of Apple's portfolio. So Apple is producing iWatch, iPhones, MacBooks, iPods, and iPads. So there are basically four, we are dividing the whole, portfolio into four parts. So here we go, the market share. These are stars. These are cash cows. These are dogs, and these are question marks. Where there are certain kind of products where the growth rate is really high. The growth rate is really high, and companies having a big market share. So in case of an iPhone, the company's market share is 15%. Market share is 15%, and growth of the smartphones is 60% globally. So 60% growth and market share is huge. I'm talking about 2015. I mean, this was made in the 2015, but even right now the growth is really high and the market share is huge. And then there are cash cows. Cash cows are the product in which there is low growth. The market growth rate, the growth of the overall market. What is the growth rate of tablet market? It is not growing at a fast pace. So the growth rate is low, but the relative market share is high. So everybody is buying iPad. iPad is having the majority of market share. Recently they launched their new iPads, right? So the market share is high, but the growth rate is low. The same applies to MacBooks. So the company is making profits out of it, but that particular product is not going to grow. The company is making money out of it. the company need not to invest much money into the cash cows, but they can generate a lot of cash out of cash cows. That's why it is known as cash cow. Milk your cash cow. And then there are question marks. Question marks are the kind of product in which the growth rate is really high. In case of smartwatches, the growth rate is really high. But the relative market share of Apple is really low, because there are plenty of reasons, like better products are available, iWatches are expensive, people are using Fitbits, people are using those health band or fitness bands are there, which are directly competing with the smartwatches. So the growth rate is really high, but the relative market share is low. So these are known as the question marks. The question marks need more money. More money is needed to be pumped into that this category, the question mark, so that it can become a star. So now there are dogs. Dogs are the kinds of product in which the market growth, there is no growth rate, there is no growth, and the market share is even low, right? So iPod is a kind of product. Yes, iPod is a kind of product in which the market share is low and the growth rate is low. So these kind of products should be eliminated. The company should focus on stars, question marks, and the company should focus on getting money from cash cows and invest that money into question marks, so that the question marks can become a star, and the company should invest money in the star to retain its position. So the cash cows having large market share into a mature and slow growing industry. iPad is a classic example. So the cash cow require little investment, it can generate a lot of cash. And then there are stars. A star is a business unit that has a large market share in a fast growing industry. Smartphone is a kind of industry, and the star may generate cash, but because the market is growing rapidly and there is fierce competition, so it requires investment to maintain the lead. So if successful, a star will become cash cow when the industry matures. So slowly, that's a problem with Apple. These smartphones, slowly they are becoming cash cows because the whole industry is maturing. The growth rate is going down. Slowly that market, the whole industry is going to become a cash cow. That iPhones are going to become cash cows. So that Apple is struggling. What they are doing to cover up this thing, they are trying to convert iWatch and the wearable into the stars. They want to make money out of iWatch. The question marks that we took the classic example of iWatch. A business unit that's having the small market share, but the overall growth rate of the market is really high. Right now the growth rate of wearable is really high, but the market share of Apple is really low. So there are other brands like Fitbit, and there are products by many other makers who got the market share. There is Xiaomi, so who got the market share. Now there are dogs like iPod. I think the iPods are discontinued now, but I'm not really sure about it. There are Mac Minis. These are dogs, right? Having the small market share in a mature industry. So a dog may not require substantial cash, but it ties up the capital. So it is better to deploy that money somewhere else and give your attention to question marks, so that you can make the question mark as stars, and give your attention to stars so that you can retain your market position. So that's all for today, students. If you like the class, if you want to join the IBPS SO course, you can join it. store.bankexamstudy.com. The link is available in the description. We are going to provide the chapter-wise video classes, the notes and the test series, the chapter-wise quizzes as well, and we are going to provide the doubt clearing sessions as well. So that's all for today, students. Thank you and have a very nice day. If there is any doubt in your mind, please ask your doubts in that comment section. That's all for today, students. Thank you and have a very nice day. Bye.